CPC. What's up? Chef Penn right here. This is CPC Weekly. We dropping jewels about being an entrepreneur, being a small business, freeing yourself from the labor force, the workforce, the employer, the getting the income. Yo, we building wealth. You cannot build wealth with income. Doesn't happen. Maybe. It's like you like at the CEO and you getting some shit. I don't even know how that corporatized CEO pay structure works, but you ain't getting it. You know what I'm saying? So the deal is you got to build it yourself. You got to create it for yourself. So the idea of it is to share information. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been in the game all my life. As an adult, I've been in this particular culinary game for 7 years. I'm finally starting to get a little bit of traction. I'm sharing a little bit of that traction while I'm going through it because once I get to that success level, that monetary success level, I'm probably going to remove myself from this type of a platform and kind of be more into my ambitions and hobbies and things like that. So right now I'm going to share it to you. I'm going to share with you how I've done it, some of the things I've done, some tips and jewels that I have to help you along the way. It's only like a hot ass 10 minutes, you know? But some of my other videos, you can check out those. They talking about the end game. They talking about what you will not give up. They always talk about sacrificing things to achieve a goal. Well, I like to speak about what you're not going to sacrifice to achieve your goal. You got to know that shit going into it because sometimes things can change, and while you're in the fire, you just start. Anyway, go check out that video. It's bomb. Today, we're talking about your uniqueness and how to develop or find your uniqueness, and then how to sell it, how to monetize your uniqueness. That is the tricky part because the system isn't really made to sell uniqueness. It's made to cookie cut shit with a little bit of variations here and there, but not too much. And unique should be like way on the other end of the spectrum. So you got to bring it from the other end of the spectrum to this cookie cut, semi-cookie cut American system that we are in. And you can do that. You can do that. It is possible these days. It is more possible these days, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to share some information. You know, I don't even know what information you as an individual need, but hopefully you pick a little bit here, you pick a little bit there, you kind of compile it all together with what you know and from other sources, credible sources, sources that resonate with your soul or your mind or however. So yeah, your uniqueness. Well, my uniqueness, and I spoke about on my CPC Chronicles on my IG page. That's chef.penwright on IG. Check me out if you're on to the daily. I post all kind of stuff on my IG. So from cooking classes to giveaways to we're doing a little competition coming up. Y'all need to check out the IG page, yo. Your uniqueness. My uniqueness is one of the uniqueness I do is a lot of flavor and a lot of color in my food. A lot of char. Not a lot of char, but definitely a noticeable amount of char on my food. I like dense flavors. I can't stand picking up a piece of chicken and it's like bland. The way they have contaminated our food, it doesn't have taste anymore. For those who have traveled globally and eaten food from other countries, you still get taste in broccoli. Or, man, you know I lost $20 over a cantaloupe bet. I've been eating cantaloupe all my life. I went to France in 2014, ate something that looked like a cantaloupe but did not taste like a cantaloupe. It tasted way better. So much better that I was like, this is not a cantaloupe. I was so confident, I bet I lost because it was definitely a cantaloupe, yo. And that's just because our food is just not handled and cared for in the same fashion. You have to have a high level of care to grow something and to produce it in a certain way, right? And yeah, I forgot why in the hell we went on a tangent about cantaloupe, but getting back to your uniqueness, and I was talking about mine, char and flavors is one of my unique styles of cooking. I also like to do a lot of blending, a lot of fusion stuff. So I will have like 4 different continents on one plate. You know what I'm saying? Just for the hell of it. And I think that's cool. I think people in this world where you have a lot more experiences, you're not so boxed into your neighborhood or to your city or to your state or into your country. You get to look over at Morocco to see what they're doing in Morocco, what kind of flavors they're using, and what kind of seasonings they're doing. And then I get to say, man, well, I like this couscous over there and this little season blend that they use. I'll put that shit with a burger. I don't know. I'm just randomly kind of throwing shit out there, but That's really how my mind thinks. Like, I don't think upon limits like that. I try to find something and just to see if it match. And if it don't, it's cool. Toss it to the side and keep working on something else. That's a part of being exploratory with your craft. I know a lot of business. I'm in Houston, Texas. I deal with a lot of people here in Houston, Texas. I'm a rather local guy. I'm a native dude. I've traveled a lot around the world, but I really have deep roots here in Houston, Texas. And a lot of people are getting down on a similar entrepreneurial vibe. They you have chefs, you have event planners, and your barbershop and hairstylists and realtors and a few other things that are kind of commonplace for your entrepreneurial spirit to be able to be birthed, because it's not like an environment I can't go walk into anywhere and say, I want to start a oil and gas pipeline. Like, what, fool? Where you going to get those resources from? So you don't start at the oil and gas pipeline. You start somewhere that's more achievable. You create it, you brand yourself, and you do your thing. And if you can and want to go get into the oil industry without dying, because, it's like that, then you can go do that. But you can't start there. So that's why you have a lot of people starting in places like in a kitchen or in a beauty salon or a barbershop or something like that, a DJ, or those things people can kind of brand themselves. But it's cool. In this day and age, hell, you brand yourself well enough, somebody can buy you from Argentina. Buy your service from way the hell not even nowhere near around you. So that's really awesome. Your market is just opened up. And if you are being you, and here's the part about your uniqueness, right? The you being you part. That what is you part, how to find that, let me tell you, that'll take over all of religion if I can tell you in this shorter period of time how to find your uniqueness. However, it's usually right in front of you. It's usually that thing that everybody kind of knows you about or associate with you, or you associate with yourself, that you can kind of develop. A lot of times we don't get to develop our uniqueness because of outside influences. Like, I'm an only child. I have a brother and two sisters, but they didn't raise with me. They wasn't raised with me. So I spent all of my time by my damn self. People shit on that a lot of the times, but I got the opportunity to really develop the shit that I wanted to develop without some asshole ass sibling coming in and wrecking my development or inputting their shit or jealousy or just fucking around and having fun. So sometimes it was a bit lonely, but hey, I got to get all of my shit out of my head and play with it and build it and watch it just be destroyed and all of that stuff without the interruption of your siblings. So I've been planning this small business thing for years. Oh man, all through high school I've been talking about doing this stuff. And yeah, so I had a long time to develop my uniqueness. And that's how to express myself freely and how I take boundaries and chains off of recipes and concepts and totally try to come up with something a little bit different. And my business is a lot on the go. So I was like, well, everybody go to restaurants and eat. People like to eat at their home, but they don't want to cook and clean up and do all that shit. That's why you go to the restaurant, so they can go cook and they can clean up and you can just sit down and eat and enjoy your time socializing with your friends and family. So I was like, shit, we should make a restaurant business that goes to the homes. And I have, and it has plenty of challenges. A lot of times it's on the talent side. Not many chefs want to go deal with that shit. Cooking on the move is a pain because you gotta imagine moving, like you gotta move an apartment to your house, right? Well, so it's like that, but let's say you just move in your kitchen, right? That's what my job is. Every time I go and do a job, it's like moving your kitchen in your home to somebody else's place and then moving it from there back into your home. And very fucking taxing. But nobody's doing it. So I feel like that's a lane. If nobody's gonna do it, hell, I'll do it. I'll work hard. I get this bread. I'll stack up my money. I'll build a legacy behind it, build my wealth behind this really hard work that nobody else wants to do. Okay, but I'm gonna do some other stuff along the way, and I'm gonna pass on the message to you. Thank y'all so much for coming to tune in, yo. 10 minutes. We're about to get out of here. Check out my IG. I do a lot of posts, some giveaways coming up this year. 2020 is a really big year. We have a really fun spring event coming up. So if you're in Houston, or even if you're not, you catch a plane ticket. You dig what I'm saying? But y'all check me out next week, CPC Weekly. Love y'all.